1. Going to university without a plan. If you're not studying law, medicine, or any other subject that will put you into a position of gaining a high-in-demand job, then don't waste your time, energy, and money on university. 2. Getting hooked on the party lifestyle. Everybody who's been in their 20s knows that this phase of your life can be wild. And there's nothing wrong with having fun, drinking a lot, meeting cool and interesting people, or even doing various and extensive research with different substances. But sadly, a large percentage of people who enter their 30s have made a habit out of using drugs or drinking excessively in their 30s. This will wreak havoc on their physical and mental health. 3. Never mastering your emotions. I'm glad that I was an impulsive, depressed, emotional wreck in my 20s because it taught me how invaluable it is to control and learn from my emotions. If every wrong look or question throws you into a fit, or if you're consumed by depression, or crippled by the fear of rejection or failure, then learn to master your emotions. Your emotions are either your most powerful allies or your most fearsome enemies. 4. Believing that hedonism is happiness. Being able to travel everywhere, drink expensive champagne, eat in expensive restaurants, flex with jewelry and designer clothing, etc. only looks good on Instagram. It's not a guarantee that you're really, truly happy. Many rich people are emotional and spiritually bankrupt, while many of the poor lead fulfilling, happy lives. Materialism and consumption are often the opposite of true happiness. 5. Not getting rich. Didn't I just tell you that money can't buy happiness? Of course, money can't buy happiness. Happiness is not dependent on how much money you have, but on how you communicate with yourself. But having no money or having to break your back in a job that you hate just to pay your bills is also the fastest route to a very dark and painful place. Become financially independent ASAP, so that you don't have to spend 2/3 of your life working. 6. Not getting strong, muscular, and healthy. In your 20s, you tend to take your body and its youthful strength and vitality for granted. That's one of the biggest mistakes that you could make. If you haven't made healthy eating and regular training a habit in your 20s, just wait for your 30s. You'll really start to notice the aches and pains and the excess body fat piling up. You'll feel less energy and vigor. You might even develop some diseases that you easily could have prevented. 7. Not learning from the experience of others. It's often said that experience is the best teacher, but it must not be your own experience. A driver with no spare tire is careful while driving, so as not to puncture the only one it has in uncalculated driving. So, you ought to replicate that safety habit. The best way to do so is by inquiring from other drivers that have gone ahead of you or those who have gone through the road you're presently driving on for guidance. Failure to do this early enough in life will leave you with limited options of a smooth sail and landing in life. 8. Not taking responsibility for your life's finances. These costly mistakes have wrecked the lives of many. Many, even in their 22nd, still depend solely on their parent for survival and also see their parent responsible for the outcome of their life. They don't wake up early to take responsibility for their finances and life's outcome. They don't start early to source for means of income either to support themselves or their family. They see and make their parent, guardians, and other relatives responsible for their finances and life's outcome. Wake up and give desired shape to your life. 9. Not having a defined or stable stand or direction in life. It's often said that those who do not have a stand or standard to live by usually fall for anything that comes their way. Most people in their 20s follow every trend they see in social media and around them, without taking time to analyze the ripple effect of their actions. This unchecked habit has crippled much youth in their prime. They're tossed to and fro by every wind of fashion and environmental change. They end up falling prey to their predators and regretting it at last. You can't continue living like a chameleon and expect to have an outstanding life. If you really want to enjoy life in due time, prove all things that come your way and hold unto the profitable. 10. Little or no commitment to personal growth. The youthful stage of one's life ought to be a time primarily dedicated to personal growth and development. A tree that intends to last long and bear more fruit in its old age takes time to grow its root downward and the branches upward. Life has always answered to the principle of sowing and reaping. It's abnormal to reap what you never sowed into your life. If you don't want to reap the hardness of life later on in life, take time to deliberately commit yourself to personal growth and development. The issue with most people in their 20s is that they want to live life first before committing to personal growth. They end up not lasting long in their desired lifestyle. 11. Not starting out early in life. Most young persons in their 20s allow the "I'm too young" mentality to limit their early progress in life. They succumb to the despise of youths for positive generational change. They allow the shouting and side talks of others to limit the expression of their potentials early enough. Never allow any man to look down on you because you're young. They don't know what your Creator has heavily deposited in you. I'd like to let you know that you're not too young to become a multimillionaire. You're not too young to start that business of your dream. You're not too young to become a king and a sought-after person in your industry. You're not too young to start that ministry of your calling. You're not too young to start initiating and building that godly relationship and home. You're not too young to start implementing that proven idea of yours.